for fake promises again.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is the Election Bureau. Hello and welcome to Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu, and tonight I'm here with
Eno Safo.
Coming up over the next 90 minutes.
I will institute investigations into how GBC Lands has ended up building private homes here where we are standing. Thank you. So you should get ready. If he's a director of legal and he had the impudence to report his sector deputy minister to the police, but I want to deal with the matters of lies that has been spilled about me that have forcibly demolished their property. Let me tell you, what he claimed to be GBC property, bungalow. There's no bungalow here.
Ghana Broadcasting Corporation GBC takes on Deputy Information Minister Sylvester Tetteh over the demolition of their bungalow. That's accusations and counter accusations here. We'll be talking about that. Also coming up, the mysterious case of how armed robbers who were locked up in a forex bureau during an operation this afternoon disappeared when police managed to break into the bureau. We'll go to Abekala Park, where that story is unfolding from. And later on Eyewitness News,
we gather to celebrate the completion of the Tema-Mpakadan railway line, a vital component of Ghana's first multimodal transport system.
Opposition National not opposition, forgive me. President Akufo-Addo, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, inaugurates one of Ghana's longest rail lines, the Tema-Mpakadan rail line. We'll tell you the benefits of that line and all the issues around the inauguration. Stay with 97.3 CTF for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. There's also business, and Eno has the latest headlines.
Commercial banks are sure of enough liquidity for market despite financial sector challenges.
That's in 50 minutes from the City Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a number of affiliate stations, including Adwenpa 100.7 FM in Takwa. We are also on Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady. In the Bono region, we are on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, we are on Adwenpa 99.9 FM in Nkawie. In the Volta region, we are on Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohwe and Freedom 88.3 FM in 88.1 FM in Sogakopa. In the Northern region, we are on Radio Gaki 88.3 FM in Saboba. In Upper East, we are on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. In the Northeast region, we are on Nobia 98.1 FM in Nalirigu. We are also live on YouTube. We are also live on citynewsroom.com. That's our website. We are also on X, formerly known as Twitter, where you can watch proceedings, and also follow us on Facebook, where we have live feed of what's happening in the studio. You can join the conversation because it's an interactive show. If it's WhatsApp you want to send a message through, then go to use 0549 986 996. That's the WhatsApp number, 0549 986 996. Now, if you want to go on Twitter or X, send me a message by mentioning my handle at Umaru Sanda or at City973. Do use the hashtag Eyewitness News. There's a tussle between the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation and Deputy Minister for Information, who is also MP for Botiano English Yamanfro. Eno has a summary of that story.
Member of Parliament for Botiano English Yamanfro and Deputy Minister for Information Sylvester Tetteh has denied claims that he demolished a bungalow belonging to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Tetteh has also announced plans to investigate the allocation of GBC lands to private individuals in the Akwasa area where the recent demolition took place. Speaking after being accused of demolishing a GBC structure, Tetteh dismissed the allegations, attributing the negative publicity to administrative lapses within the broadcaster.
I will institute investigations into how GBC Lands has ended up building private homes here where we are standing. So you should get ready. If he's a director of legal and he had the impudence to report his sector deputy minister to the police, but I want to deal with the matters of lies that has been spilled about me that have forcefully demolished their property. Let me tell you, what he claimed to be GBC property, bungalow. There's no bungalow here. There's an old dilapidated structure here. And let me tell you, there's one man who has been an occupant of that place. They've been collecting monies from him for years. No GBC staff had ever occupied that place for a very long time. It's a boys' quarters, dilapidated. Nobody works in GBC had occupied that property. And when the estate manager was here and the coordinates were picked, the coordinates that were picked, that includes that whole area. So if you want to build there and an old dilapidated structure is there, what do? Don't you clear it before you do the construction? So this is the site plan I'll share with you. This is the letter signed by Kwame Waja on the instructions of the Director General. Where have I gone wrong? Where has the assembly gone wrong? The municipal assembly has not done anything untoward. So this issue of a lawless MP, if I'm lawless for the sake of my community, I'll continue to be lawless.
Sylvester Tetteh is the Deputy Minister for Information and Member of Parliament for Botiano English Yamanfo.
He's actually joined us on the line. Let me speak to him. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Umaru Sanda, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you caught up in the center of a demolition of a bungalow? Are you now using the drip machines that are supposed to use to fix your roads to push down people's houses? Is that what you're doing?
Umaru, the drip machines are not the authority of members of parliament, rather the municipal assembly. And of course, let me also say good evening to you and our cherished listeners this evening. It's been a while.
Yes, indeed, it's been a while. So what's happening? What is this issue?
Umaru, there is no issue except to say that GBC has rather disrespected their sector, the minister. And I think the way they went about this whole thing. Look, in the matter of broadcasting land at Akwasa, when I became an MP, anywhere I go, the community, the people are crying for a public school. Community with residents over 100,000, a voter population over 34,000 in that electoral area, has lived without a public school. We've had incidents of children being knocked down in an attempt to cross the highway to access public basic school in Weja. Some trek long distances to go from broadcasting area to Aplaku. Some go to Tuba, others go to Amamfum. Even some go to Kaswa for public basic school. So it's been the cry of the community for an intervention. So I wrote to GBC for a parcel of land for the construction of a public basic school. The Director General then sent the Director of Estate to come and inspect the site so that we can pick the site plan and subsequent approval will be given. So the Director of Estate came down, the contractor who is going to build the school was around, my rep was around, they picked the coordinate and the site plan was prepared. Same was forwarded to GBC and subsequent approval was given for construction of a school. And the site plan is in the name of the municipal assembly. Any public school within the jurisdiction of the municipal assembly is owned by the municipal assembly for that matter. So when I had all the documents, I had to give it to the municipal assembly for subdivision. So when we went to site, there were containers on site. And of course, as a member of parliament for the area, I had to intervene to support those who have the container structures on the site for the construction. After the clearance of the site, then I had a call that we are pulling down bungalows. I said, no, to the best of my knowledge and my experience and knowledge of the area, there is no bungalow of that nature at the place. The coordinate and the site plan that is prepared before the subsequent approval was given includes an area where they have these old dilapidated boys' quarters bungalow there. and is not even occupied by any staff of GBC. Rather, to my surprise, some people who have no linkage to GBC have been living there as quarters for a very long time. And that structure is not a structure that could pass for human habitation. So once you sign off that place for the school construction, obviously, when the assembly moves to site to clear the place for the contractor to begin with, obviously, they're going to clear the whole place. Then, to my surprise, my picture was posted on X by GBC that I'm a lawless MP. This morning, I took media men to the site for them to see. I'd shown them the site plan that was given and the subsequent approval of GBC. Kwame Waja says that where the earmark for the construction, that is not where we have gone to clear. And begged him, and I've given him 24 hours to come with an evidence to show that indeed this is where we gave you. Because I have the site plan, I've exhibited the site plan to the whole world. I've not got the coordinates are available. When you move from your office today, you don't need to follow me. Once you pick the coordinates and you go to the area, you can locate the exact site that has been assigned for the construction of the school. I've also heard them say that they have not involved the municipal assembly. Look, the work of an MP for supervision of school is the sole prerogative of the municipal assembly. So when an MP goes to lobby for a project of that nature, he hands it over for the assembly for supervision. So when it has to do with site clearing, the member of parliament don't have authority to go and remove anybody from anywhere. So on the evidence of the document given to me as a member of parliament by GBC, I handed same over to the municipal assembly to go and do the clearance of the site. So nobody has done anything untoward. I didn't go to demolish GBC properties as being speculated. I've given the site plan within which we've done the clearance, and no any other place as earmarked for the construction of the school except the one that is signed off for us to construct the public basic school in the interest of the public. Okay. So, Umaru Sanda, these matters of me going to demolish GBC properties, and I'm surprised because, strangely, Kwame Waja, who signed that letter on instructions of the Director General, had seen the site plan before he signed the letter for the construction of the school. And if he cares to know, he has a copy of the site plan. He should have picked the coordinate and see that where has been earmarked for you, whether or not it's the same spot that has been picked and site plan prepared for the construction of the school. So it baffles me to hear that Kwame Waja going around to say I've demolished. And the worst of it all is reported me, the sector minister of the same agency, the police. What is the police coming to do? To do what? So I've challenged him. I've thrown a challenge to him that within 24 hours, he should bring the contrary evidence to the effect that where we are going to clear is not the exact spot that they have earmarked for the construction of the school. I have the document with me. I've exhibited same.
Okay, my question, what were the kinds of structures that were on the site where you did the demolition? What kind of structures were demolished?
We counted 14 containers. Some were used for fufu pounding machine for the public. Others were drinking bars. Some were selling different merchants over there. So I met all of them. And I said, well, the assembly it doesn't have any authority to give you compensation for whatsoever. But as a member of parliament, out of my pocket, I'm supporting you to relocate your containers from here for construction of a school project that is coming to the community. So there were about 14 of them. And to my surprise, all those containers being cited there, what I've been told were that workers of GBC have sublet the land for people for such transaction of businesses over there. And that's why they didn't want the school to be constructed.
Okay, so
but like I said, the contention is that GBC is saying that they are not against the construction of the school, but rather where the earmark for the construction of the school is different from where I've gone to clear the place or the assembly had gone to clear. And I'm saying that the evidence of the site plan speaks to the core of this same matter. Okay. If they have any contrary evidence, because before he signed the letter, a site plan was prepared, forwarded to the director of estate or the estate manager, routed to the director GBC, the director general GBC, for him to instruct Kwame Waja to sign off the letter for the construction. Okay. So it baffles me after we have gone to clear the site for them to come to say that we have gone to demolish bungalows. I haven't gone to demolish any bungalow. And I've also said today in my press conference that same parcel of land over there belonging to GBC, there's been private properties under same parcel of land over there. And like I said today, I will institute an investigation with approval of my minister into the GBC lands over there and the occupant of that land in and around that place.
So among the structures that were demolished, there was not a single concrete building or block structure.
Except the old dilapidated. It's not a flat as they were being speculated. It is an old bungalow, very old dilapidated bungalow.
And it was not occupied
by squatters.
Squatters. No GBC staff.
No. The squatter who was in there today, he was there. He was prepared to speak to the press. Now for 5 years, somebody who had retired and left GBC had been collecting money from him.
Okay. Let me just be clear again. So where you went to do the demolition is GBC land, all right, which was given to you by GBC, but which does not contain or does not host the building that is claimed it is hosting.
The said building is within the site plan that was submitted for them for approval.
That's what I'm saying. So where you did the demolition was given to you by GBC itself.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And the intention was to build a school, not your private use.
No, not at all.
And the demolition was carried out by the district assembly, not yourself.
Of course. They have the mandate to do so.
But you were there during the demolition.
I need not to be there. The day they went to clear the place, I wasn't there. Because I have finished my job. But the member of parliament, I'm going to lobby for the passing of land. I have to hand same over to the municipal assembly. Because the school is in the name of the municipal assembly. And I've done same. So they have to take steps to ensure that the place was cleared for construction. That's what I've done.
My final question, if what you are going to do is for the public good, and you had the agreement with GBC before you started work, they even gave you the land, why would they suddenly then turn around and say that you're a lawless MP and even go ahead and invite the police to arrest you? Something must have gone amiss, don't you think?
That is what baffles me. To the extent that I'm the sector minister for their same institution, it baffles me. It baffles me because to the best, I had a call from somebody from GBC that they had calls from GBC staff over there that they are pulling down structures. Look, where they have given to me, there's no such bungalow over there. And we are within, so I called the municipal assembly and said, look, we are within the coordinate of the site plan that was approved for the construction of the school. So to the best of my knowledge, this is needless. This is needless. And I'm saying that, look, if or GBC says they have any contrary evidence to the effect that where we're going to clear is not what they signed up for me, they should come forward and come public with it.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Sylvester Tetteh. He is NPP Member of Parliament for Botiano English and Manfrom. He's also the parliamentary candidate of the MPP in that constituency, and he's also Deputy Minister in charge of information in the Akufo-Addo government. He stands accused by the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, an institution under his ministry, of engaging in quote-unquote lawlessness in demolishing a property that belongs to the state broadcaster. He has said that that is far from the truth, and that the so-called building was a dilapidated building, and that the demolition only covered container blocks, and that the land was intended for the building of a school facility in the community, and that he had had an agreement with GBC, which GBC hived off a part of that land and gave the coordinates for the construction to his outfit, which in turn was given to the, I believe that should be the Gan South Municipal Assembly for action. Let's speak to Kwame Waja. He's a lawyer in charge of legal services. He's the director for legal services at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Amanda, thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. The Member of Parliament has mentioned your name a number of times. He is not happy that, first of all, GBC refers to him as a lawless MP on its social media platform. And two, he says the claims that are being made against him are unfounded. The land was given to them by GBC. First of all, what's your version of the story?
All right. Okay, so let me put it this way. Thank you for having me, and good evening to your listeners. You see, sometimes around March, April this year, right, the Member of Parliament, Honorable Sylvester Tetteh approached GBC for a parcel of land to put up a community school. Now, subsequent to that, there have been some engagements, you understand? And the Director General, in principle, did not disagree. So when Honorable Sylvester Tetteh brought a letter, to ensure that we are able to respond appropriately, we indicated in a letter that we were not against him putting a school, especially if it was going to serve the public interest. Now, if you look at the letter he sent us and the response that I, as Director of Legal, was given instruction to respond, I indicated that we lauded him for a very good idea for putting together a school, and we hope that in that spirit, he's able to carry out that project. However, before that, that whole enclave, that old GBC acquisition, is under our protection and care. So we know where there's space and where there's no space. Now, before that, our estate went with his servants assigned, and he himself is aware that they showed him a place and said, look, this is what we can give you. Now, before we could say, Jack, he wanted to put that language that way, the land was being developed in a totally different angle. So the director that drew my attention and said, look, Kwame, we are told that the honorable servants and assigns and his workers are somewhere else breaking down containers. So please, can we invite him down? So I called Honorable Sylvester Tetteh and said, oh, this is what I've heard. And he said, oh, it wasn't true. That's all. Even that. Kindly come and get in touch with the Director General, because in any case, in principle, he's not against what you're doing. You understand? We extended that courtesy to him because there are two reasons. One, because of the nature of the project, and secondly, because politically, he's a minister within our sector. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Now, we do that for him, and then something goes wrong, and the Director General calls him, and he refused to show up. The Director of Human Resource in charge of estate called Honorable Sylvester Tetteh, and he refused to show up. Now, you know that GBC is a public institution. Now, where they went to play, let us assume that even where we show them, they were not even interested in that because of the nature of the project. You could have just come back to GBC to say that, you know what, please, what you're giving us here is not good. We are in charge of the entire acquisition. The place has been heavily encroached. So we may identify one space or the other. But where he wanted to go was something that we did not want him to do it there. But he continued to do it. Then the Director General said, look, if that is the case, Kwame, run it back and revoke any arrangement that we have with him. You see, Sanda, let me say this. Ordinarily, this is not the ministry's project. I mean, it's not the information ministry's project. But under the circumstances, we're forced to write to him and copy the minister, wrote to the minister, and also copy the National Media Commission. Why should we get to this point? Only because the minister will not come and sit down with GBC. Now, I was also instructed to go to the police station because in the course of developing another part of the land, a GBC property was grazed down. And I'm told that he says he doesn't know anything about it. In any case, if he didn't know anything about it and we went and made an allegation, that's why we made an allegation against him. And we were at the police station. I was there the whole of yesterday. The honorable person came to the plot. I was at the police station. I was told that he had come there. I arranged to come and meet him there. Before I got there, he was gone. The Director General and other members of management have tried as much as possible to see him. In fact, this thing happened 3 weeks ago. If you look at this whole development, what has actually come to a head to this started 3 weeks ago. The Director General had been so constrained in letting this matter come out because he said the period is not good. We're entering into election. So let us get this man and sit down with him and tell him that where he's going to develop, it's not a place that is suitable for the project.
Okay. Councillor, let me just get a few things. So it is true that you gave land to him, but you are saying that the parcel you gave him is not what he wanted to develop.
Exactly the point. I'm telling the truth. That is it.
How far off is the original allocation from where he's developing now?
It's just all by the roadside.
So it's adjacent?
Yeah, not adjacent, but there are buildings in between.
He said he was giving coordinates, and that is a coordinate that he relied on.
I am coming. You see, we have our employees resident there. Where he's seeking to put up the school and the plan is brought, cannot be contained at that point where he seeks to put the project together. Nobody's against the project. But we're saying that go to another place. Would we give an account of what he is doing? Especially where, in the course of doing this thing, the property, no matter how old the property is, belonging to GBC, has been broken down. Umaru, tell me, how do we account for it? Now, if he had come at the time that the Director General, the head of the entity who is accountable for all the properties of GBC, is calling him to come for us to sit down, we will get to where we are today.
He
said nobody's calling him lawless. I have not called him lawless. At every one point in time, I've emphasized that is not where we gave him.
Very well.
The coordinates that he's talking about, I'm not aware of any coordinates. I've not got the estate officer who went to show his servants, assigns, and workers. He said, lawyer, I didn't show them here. I asked them to go to the top, and they took us there.
Okay.
So if he had any problem with the suitability or otherwise for the project, he is at the Ministry of Information. Why won't he come down? Why won't he come and say, gentlemen, what you have given me, I don't want. Can you change it for me? What is wrong with that?
Could it be possible that he developed a different place from, maybe it was a mistake?
Let us assume it was a mistake. We can all make mistakes. Let us assume that Honorable Sylvester Tetteh and his servants and assigns made a mistake. I'm saying that the head of entity who initially said that, this is a very good project. If it's for a school, it's a good project. Says, come and let us sit down and look at. Why do you span his invitation, his responses, and force him to ask his management to go to the police station? Why do we live our lives this way?
Very well. Finally, he says that the demolition that happened was a demolition of containers and also a dilapidated building.